No, it's a regular person. Yeah, just write a check. Yeah, $11,000. She was 26 anyway. She had limited value.
By this point, I'm sure most of you are familiar with the remarks made by Officer Otterer. If you haven't had the chance yet, please refer to my earlier post for the full context. The extent of offensiveness in these comments left us not only enraged, but also deeply shocked and disheartened. Just scrolling through the comments on my original post, you'll see how people reacted with the mix of shock, anger, and profound sadness, as well as causing a lot of us to lose even more confidence and faith in the police. So I just wanted to give you a brief update on the goings-on at the Seattle Police Department. So now it appears that Officer Daniel Otterer, who we know is the VP of the union, the one that made these callous comments, and the person on the other side of the conversation entertaining him, the president of the union, Mike Solon, are both obviously facing scrutiny for the body camera footage captured their insensitive remarks about the tragic death of Jaahnavi Kandula. Understandably, the release of this footage triggered international outrage and condemnation, with the Community Police Commission calling for Otterer to be suspended without pay. The department, however, has not commented on Otterer's status. It also raised concerns about the extent of information recorded on body cameras since Kandula's death. The Seattle Police Department took measures that might make such content more difficult to discover, and thank you to one of my followers, Aiming for Redemption, for pointing this out to me. I had no idea. But interestingly, the Seattle Police Department had employed Trulio, a Chicago-based company, in 2021 to help identify unprofessional conduct by officers by using natural language processing. Trulio software uses AI to automatically transcribe the audio from body cams worn by officers and to analyze body camera, video, and audio. Essentially, it's accountability software. This is a wonderful thing, considering the majority of officers are not held accountable for when they do commit unlawful acts. This device has the capability to flag specific words and phrases and assign risk labels to videos that contain language suggesting an officer used force, someone was injured, or an officer made unprofessional comments. Words like deceased or dead are among the key words designed to trigger the software's flagging mechanism. So it's possible that the software could have identified Officer Otterer's unauthorized comment about Kandula's death and flagged the video for supervisor review.
But she is dead.
Unbeknownst to Otterer, his body camera recorded the entire conversation. Furthermore, he was unaware that his comments could potentially be flagged by the Trulio software and label videos containing such terms as high risk. On January 15, 9 days before the incident, the Seattle Police Department had renewed their 2-year, $400,000 contract with Trulio after a 2-year trial showed promise. Shortly after Solon became aware of the department's use of Trulio, Solon publicly accused the department of spying on officers. He personally lodged his complaint with Diaz, alleging that officers felt that they were being spied on and that they had violated their collective bargaining agreement. He also said the department had failed to inform officers about the software's use for analyzing their interactions. And the Seattle Police Department terminated its contract with Trulio on the same day. Yeah. This move is particularly intriguing since the Seattle and Vallejo Police Departments are the only ones known to have terminated their contracts with Trulio. I find this interesting as the next story I'm working on involves the Vallejo Police Department. In both instances, union officials led campaigns to prevent their respective departments from using this technology, citing concerns about potential revelations of problematic officer behavior. The cancellation followed the publicizing of Seattle's use of the software, which raised concerns about privacy among civil libertarians and drew sharp criticism. In response to inquiries, a spokesperson for the SPD stated that they discontinued their limited pilot contract with Trulio due to reactions to news coverage about the software highlighting concerns raised regarding civilian privacy, although Trulio's website claims the ability to automatically redact information that could identify civilians. The department acknowledged the software's potential, but indicated no immediate plans to re-engage with Trulio. Nonetheless, an employee within the department discovered the video as part of their regular duties and reported their concerns through the chain of command. Kudos to that person. Hopefully that person doesn't get fired once Otterer and Solon find out who it is. Seattle's Office of Police Accountability initiated an investigation into the conduct of the union leaders after receiving outreach from an attorney representing the police department on August 2nd. The Office of Police Accountability operates independently from the police department. In a statement released last Friday, Seattle Public Union indicated that there was more detail and nuance yet to be made public. Otterer had written to the Office of Police Accountability when made aware of the video's existence, and the union claimed that its release re-victimized Kandula's family. The release didn't re-victimize them? Your inhumane, vile comments re-victimized them. Otterer's letter to the Office of Police Accountability, dated August 8th, stated that he believed the conversation was private and that he intended his comments as a form of mockery aimed at lawyers. According to Otterer, he was imitating how a lawyer tasked with negotiating the case might speak and was using sarcasm to convey that such lawyers should avoid presenting exaggerated comments to minimize compensation. He explained that his laughter stemmed from finding the litigation process ridiculous. Otterer has been the subject of 18 investigations by the Office of Public Accountability in Seattle since 2014 and has cost the city millions in police misconduct lawsuits. Here's just a view of things that Otterer has been involved in. And these aren't even to date. I believe they end in August of 2021. Officer Kevin Dave, the one who struck Kandula with his cruiser, doesn't seem to have a significant disciplinary history with SPD thus far, but court records show his Arizona driver's license was suspended in 2018 for unpaid fines and failure to appear in court. He was also ticketed the same year for running a red light. Now, in doing my research for this story, I came across another story about a police officer at the Seattle Police Department. And apparently this was just released only a week ago. Seattle police officer Burton Hill is currently under investigation following allegations of hurling racist slurs and sexist language at his elderly Chinese American neighbor, Zhen Jin. Here's a little bit of the audio.
Now you're all pissed off? Like, go fuck yourself, you fucking dumb.
I will post separately on this story shortly, so please stay tuned for that. Seattle Councilwoman Tammy Morales said in a statement, "The reality is that no other city employee would be excused from this behavior where they can laugh and joke about killing somebody, spit racial slurs, and continue taking home a six-figure paycheck." As of last Friday, Burton Hill, Daniel Otterer, and Kevin Dave all remain on the job today. To date, none of these officers have faced consequences or even been put on leave, according to Morales. Back to the Trulio software. I understand that nobody wants to feel like they're being spied on, especially by their employer. But as an officer of the law, you are held to a higher standard. The numerous instances of police misconduct, racial profiling, and police brutality has diminished our trust in the police and has heightened our skepticism of them. I think this software should be mandatory. The Trulio software serves as an invaluable tool in ensuring accountability among officers. However, the decision to terminate contracts with Trulio appears to be an additional effort to conceal instances of police conduct. This, in my opinion, only exacerbates mistrust and raises question about what might be hidden from public scrutiny. It's a troubling development. It just doesn't sit well with me. Thank you for watching. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Until then, practice kindness and look out for your fellow beings.